we thank God for giving us a chance to be before Him. Many desire even to reserve 2 minutes to talk to Him, but He has not allowed. Then if He has given us a chance, speak. Just even in His name, know that we dwell in His love. We dwell in His love. Let this love be a fountain in our hearts that we may not lack love. Always ask God for a greater love that can serve you as an individual and get a reserve to serve others who are in need of that love. Never ask love for yourself alone. And God wanted to use His love to benefit Him alone. We couldn't be known even a name like Jesus. It was through His love that He allowed it to manifest. God knew all these things that people will abuse Him. They knew. He knew. People will not even recognize Him. And if He cried, people will beat Him. He knew. But He looked at His love that He never wanted to break. Allowed Him to manifest His body when He was a spirit. Jesus was God. A mere body was pure spirit of God. Pure. Owning a body to appear like others. So that you can get a chance to ask Him a question. Ask Him a good question. Because He was an answer for all. Once you appear as an answer, expect people to ask you questions. Expect people not even to understand your answers. Not all who go to universities graduate with the first degree. But the same teacher, the same lessons, the same attendance, but different grade. Never judge him who failed to qualify that he never learned. It is his measure of understanding. Even Jesus is ever free. Even to those who flogged him, they were there by the time he came back. By the time he resurrected, they were there in the village. They couldn't run away. That he had come with an answer of power, that whatever you believed was enough is what I have achieved. So there's nothing you can say now, Jesus, we can take him to this place. The best man can make you fear is death. He overcame it. So they had no other way to ask him a question. Then when he came back and started blessing people, freely. Freely God. And the freely he allowed to give. And this one we still carry what he gave as the best of himself, his spirit. He never said, my Father, take it back in heaven. No. I reserve it in your hand. For the purpose is still permanent. He was seeing how people were looking at him. He was seeing how people were crying. He knew all these people still need this spirit. And he never said, Father, take it back in your storehouse. No. He said, I reserve it in your hand. Knowing that there are many hands waiting to take over such a spirit that people may be served. People were there. Even those who denied him. Apart from this good man, Judah. Judah was a good man. Judah was a good man. Why? When he realized that the cost Jesus went through was not worth the amount of money he received, he saw he no longer qualified to live. dropped whatever they had given him as a treasure, and he knew that surely he was not worthy any cost on this. So this going, the going of Judah, don't worry, the going of Judah was a sign of repentance that your son is worthy, you alone, not anything on this land. He was a witness. He went as a witness, not as a sinner. No, he went as a witness because he surrendered his best. The best Judah had on this land was no longer money he acquired to betray, but the life he carried on his side. It is what he surrendered. Even my life is no longer worthy being a witness on this land that I'm behind this day. So this is not because there were no shops in that land. There were good shops. You could buy a good suit. You could buy even a good cow. You could pay rich money up to date. You could remain in the company of those who are rich in that season. But he surrendered all.
But what is the source of the riches? No, that is using the Lord too much for you. The riches.
So, knowing the word is. Knowing your mistake. Or knowing your sin. Is halfway solving it. Once you know that this is an error, and you leave it aside, know that you have started solving your problem. This good friend of mine called Isaiah, I remember him today. So I have good friends, good friends, good friend. I know your friend. I will read him after. We are summarizing. I will read his friend later. Isaiah 6. Verse 5. Then said I, that was Isaiah, after seeing the glory of God, God just opened his eyes to see what is happening in heaven. That's chapter 6 of Isaiah. But after seeing how organized God is, how relevant, even God counts Isaiah, these are the words he said. 6:5 of Isaiah. Then said I, woe is me, for I am a man of unclean lips. Isaiah knew his problem. Was it Mamonga? He knew his problem. He could talk anything. He could say, I saw two women in the house of Moses, and he says one of them is his wife. This was his problem. This was his problem. So he understood his problem after seeing the glory of God, and told God, woe is me, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live in people who are similar to me, because you cannot be a Rumamonga without your friends. And I live in a society who are like me. But now I have seen the glory of God, and asked God to forgive him on behalf of all Rumamongas in this world. In this world. So God knew that since he has known his problem, now he is worthy sending him to a new task. Once you know your problem, you are sure you'll never make that mistake.
Yes.
The reason we always come to God to know our errors, not an attack, to know that we are in error, so that we may be corrected and guided on the new way to move with God. And so people must always seek guidance from God. Otherwise, we should remain as judges. You judge me, I judge you. You judge me, I judge you. And we reach in heaven, God says, none of you will be judged. And we look foolish. And we come back to us. To repent, there are people who cannot qualify to enter heaven, even if their days are over. There are people whom God cannot allow. God will never use you for 50 years. And you go when you are still Rumamong. No. They will tell you go back. Confess this. And come back. On the day of your confession, you see the heavens opening and you declare that now I qualify to go back to my Father. So many people who are falling, don't think all the men go without knowing that they are going. They know. When they call you that I want to tell you the last word, don't hesitate to go. You find him not there. Again, just go. You can tell you are blessed and you come back. After 2 days you hear that he has gone. So this is their way. Once you have qualified, God gives you a program that now you are ready to go. But whenever we get such a message, we only add you instead of discerning. Every time God hides these things from us, but no person can die without us knowing. Others in vision, others in dreams. But what is the answer? Let it not come to pass. And this brings us to our topic of today. No choice of man can change the will of God. No choice of man can change the will of God in any way. Never. But when we find us arguing with God, this you can't do it, this you can't. As long as it is in His will, you find it done. So you will ask me, why some things happen when those who are near God are not informed? Because they know, because God knows, they will only argue instead of guiding how to overcome. This is the new word. I have my friend, your friend now, Ezekiel.
Your friend Ezekiel. How listen to Ezekiel?
So Ezekiel was a friend of God. Too deep that they could even joke in their good times. And there was?
In their good time.
And God said, Ezekiel, you are my friend. Why? I want to show you my goodness. He said, I know you will never change. He said, God will never change.
Ezekiel.
Until God said, now, show you that I am the author of anything good and anything bad. I am going to box you one blow. Then, if you overcome, we shall be friends forever. You will never hate me. So, it was one day when Ezekiel was happy. When Ezekiel was?
Happy.
He thought God was just joking. He thought God was what?
Joking.
He woke up, told the people that told me is yet to box me one blow, and he is going to take what I love most. But he looked. If you are a servant of God, like you and me. If you are a servant of God, like you and me, the best thing God can take, and He knows that it will pain you, is take from you His Spirit. So he looked secure. He knew, if I am a witness of what God will do, then I am here. This was an answer that is not part of the answer God is looking for. So, until one day, when he took the wife, brought the day back to him and told him, no crying. You know you're my friend. No crying. Because you are my friend. And I had told you. I want to give you a reason why God doesn't reveal things to man. He told Ezekiel. But he had to assemble the whole heaven to guard him not to cry. He told our brother Jesus that always, if you want anybody, always go like a sheep. Sleep and come back. But it is not in his desire for a person's fault when people are not aware. He expects, if he says somebody is going, you prepare for a good farewell. And you become happy because you have known that it's not man-made. Even revelations are good once you understand them. But once you use them to fight God's plan, you become an error in society. Even some things. Even if you show it to me today, that so and so is yet to go, I will not talk about it. These are the things God is going to punish us when we reach in heaven. We can know that so and so is going to die. But because I am seeing the person who needed that information, we will not carry. I also say it is not worthy. When God knows that after telling him that word, he will go back to God and ask, but is it the final say? Can't you add me a bonus of 15 years you added on was here. So, but because the person to deliver that message to you knows that God will love to act upon every word he speaks, we keep quietly so that it happens when as if we are not aware. You see the judgment we shall face in heaven. So some people die prematurely. Why? Because people to alert them to watch their steps, fear to talk about it. So I cancel any stubborn days. I cancel any stubborn days in our lives. I cancel any stubborn days in our lives. I cancel any stubborn days in our society. I cancel any stubborn days in our nation. Even if I stop here, I have faith that no death appears when the people are not aware. When the people are not aware. So this is Ezekiel 24, 16 to 18. This was a conversation between Ezekiel and God, telling him, if I take this thing you love most, don't cry. Don't even eat food on the funeral. And Ezekiel never kept it. He spoke to his friend that if this happens, know that God is aware. surprised if anything happens. But he expected the cows in the village to die. For him, he expected where his treasure on the land are is where he thought God would push a hand to show that he can do this even with his people. But he dashed on his apple. It was a shameful day. But after Ezekiel achieving this goal, after they will read from his book and get answers. So give me one of us in Ezekiel you have most.
37.
This is friend, I know. I don't see people have people in the Bible. Like you have some in the natural. So, from chapter 1, even if I read one, we shall know that there will be no dry bones in this land. We shall know. Why? Even Ezekiel never took that spirit that can give life to those who have lost hope. Never began to receive. So, Ezekiel chapter 7. Where did I get it? The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones, not the ground. It has said, the Spirit of God took Ezekiel up to a place, Carl, took Ezekiel up to a place of bones. So it is Ezekiel who was telling God that these things are already dry. Take an action that is not human. So this good man looked at God, remembered the promise he gave him that after this, when I say, pray for this, you will not ask me a question. So when he took him to the dry bone, the first thing that came into the heart of Ezekiel was, where were the people who survived? If all these people are here dying, where could be their children if they survive? It is like taking one of the government officials of today to Ruero, Triangle, where scams are now a show of people. I think they are charged people who got seed. So, because they have money than God. So, but when you take there a friend of Ezekiel, he will not look at the scar. He will look at those families that contributed to these scars. How have they benefited from the glory God allowed in this land? And if you are like Moses, you become a judge. But because this is the spirit, God said Ezekiel was carried around by his spirit. by the Spirit of God that dwelt in Ezekiel. So it is not the body of Ezekiel that went to see the bones. It was the Spirit of God that dwelt in Ezekiel. But he had a promise that whoever you will give mercy shall receive it. Whoever will receive, you will have compassion. Surely I will also save him. Whoever you will admire will be my delight. Whoever you will bless, know that he has taken it. So when he reached on this dry bone, the mind came of humanity. Where are these families now? There. So he prayed to God so that these people can show him where are these families. Don't expect they resurrected. No. This was not resurrection. Ezekiel never carried out a resurrection. No. But he took care. Look, listen to this word. He took care of these families that had contributed his dry bones. Don't think a person who lost his father during the war of peace in Uganda in 81 to 85. When you make him a minister, don't think he will remember his father. He will thank God. This is the mind. Why God took him to those dry valleys, dry bones in the valley. So that he may pray on behalf of those alive today to be remembered in society. To be remembered even by God. To silence any death for the next 30 years or 40 years. That government will finish on the land. Silence. You see how people play. But let there be no more stubborn death in such a land that contributed to the peace. God is claiming that it is permanent. If God is claiming that there is peace in Uganda, and you know who contributed it, then must live in exemption of those who see danger again. Must live in exemption of those who see fear in the land. Must live in exemption to see confusion even in the society. So I pray for your family. Because they have God. I never knew why God said, just go in my mind. Know that I'm behind you to overcome any confusion. Ephesians 6. Verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Fear not, we shall overcome today. Him who is behind our standing today, we are not seated. Him who is behind our standing today. Stephen saw Jesus standing on the throne when all declared that he is seated on the right hand. When there is danger, your spirit will never sit until that danger is solved. And it's time for the goodness of the land to manifest. as an answer. So before the answer comes, you must appear in the might of God. For none is greater than his presence. Even if God sends there his finger, where people believe they are great, they look minor. Even if he sends a nail, not even a finger. Even if he cuts this nail and says, "Go, just go with it," it will be enough. This is my friend Samson. Never needed a gun to achieve the purpose of God. He could go and get these people who eat cows every day and pick a bone and say, "This is my good weapon today." Where I point, these people know that God is pointing at them. But today, God said, "Carry on, alone. Carry on, alone." Meaning, the task is known by God that people need freedom. When people believed, they told God, "Don't send him in person. Give him a word that shall achieve anything you need on this my land. So you shall not carry me to your home. I'll send there a word. I'll send there a word that I know. No one will ask who sent it. And when it reaches, I will declare glory to him who has sent that word." I had thought this teaching is enough, but God says, "No, you still need more words. That you still need more words. Still need more words." Luke 7. Let's go to Yangon. Let's sit up. Let's sit up. Can I say something? I don't see this small word. I may read what is not written. Because I pretend as if I know them. I may read what is not written. So 7:7 of Luke. "Wherefore, neither thought I myself worthy to come unto thee, but say in a word, and my servant shall be healed." These centurions, these were soldiers, but they believed that they are not worthy hosting Jesus in their home. He knew when he reaches there and sees these funny buildings, he will ask, "And who built this? And who brought this old woman here?" So this centurion was wise enough and said, "I only need this woman, this my daughter, to be free. Don't call fire in your home when you are sleeping." This was a big secret. The man who needed healing of his daughter or his servant knew that when Jesus steps in his home, he will ask questions. What type of house is this? What type of building? Who allowed this building to appear taller than other buildings in my home? So, to avoid such a question, he told him, "I'm not the one hosting you today. I know myself. But I say the word that can heal this Kagaru. The rest we shall see when all is settled." So Jesus looked at the man who is saying, don't tamper yourself, don't trouble yourself going to my home. I am your friend. But when you reach I may become your enemy. Don't go. When you say the word, really your friend. Verse 8. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers, and I say unto me, unto one, go, and he goes. And I say to another, come, and he comes. And to my servant, do this, and he does it. Therefore, since you are a commander of the Spirit of God, just say the word. It will do the work. So, Jesus, the writers, the good writers of the wisdom of God, said, Jesus had a comment. Jesus made a comment. Huh. The word of Jesus is beautiful. So, verse 9. When Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him and turned him about and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. So he looked at the face of this man. He desired the child to be healed, but not ready to confess as the follower of Jesus. So he only needed a package of healing in his home. Nothing else. Not for salvation, as Moses will tell you today. That every word is the sword of the Spirit. Come to protect your spirit. Not to be used by any evil. Not to be loved by any other actors of evil. Not to be looked at as a source to make even others fall down, but to save it, that you may not miss heaven, is the goal of my calling in this season. That people may dwell on this land happily, but knowing, having a promise to reach to their Father in heaven. It profits nothing to live lavishly here, enjoying the glory of God, is what I said, and at the end of it, God sees you rising up to those going to hell. These are the brides He will not allow in this season. The duty of those He sent to make sure people are guided, not to look at things of the world alone, but always seek God to keep their places reserved in the forgiveness He has given us, in the joy we shall acquire today, in the love He paid for by Himself. There was no one who could buy love of God, or who could stand for His love, not even one. So after paying for all this, I don't expect any to miss the glory of God when we depart from this land. My children, we are passing by. If it is 200 years, we are on a short journey we shall go. There is one thing God told me, that Moses, you know my people are not aware. Because I love them most, I arrange them in heaven so that when they come on earth, they are also arranged. But when they reach on the earth, they start looking at animals as their source of foundation. Who will know this one? So, when God sends you from heaven in water, man made of blood. Man is not made of blood. Blood is part of the things that come after becoming a person. It's just a part of the body. But man, to be called man, what must be involved? This is my topic. I said, no choice of man can change the will of God. Now, God told me, it is in His will to see people in harmony on this land, knowing at the end of it all, him whom you have been living with in the house, you will find in heaven when he is your true brother. But when here is your husband, or your uncle, or your father, but when you are good enemies on this land, God will never bring a person from the family of Isaiah to dwell in a home of Jeremiah. Neither will you allow the Ezekiel who have mercy in their heart. Very merciful man, like your friend. Very merciful, like your father. Very merciful. So he will never allow people who carry mercy as their package from heaven to dwell in people who must act in power. In power. I will get one. Those who were sent always act in power. Like Aaron. Not Moses. Moses said, this touch. To declare people to die. I will not manage with my mouth. You know me, I cannot speak these words. And said, look for me a speaker. When you want this loud speaker, shout. It can shout as if no one is in the house. What kind of people are here? So, Moses said, I will not shout to declare death upon people. Appoint a person from your heart whom you know will declare the way you want it to appear. If it is point at any person to die, he will point. Surely, whoever Aaron pointed upon, finished. Whenever he called frogs, they came. 8 people, not coming to dance. No, these were not songs of David, of David. To total recovery of children of God from danger. When God is delivering a nation or his people, he can use things you don't understand. So, God told me that I advise my children of God, not them, children of God, that when God gives you a husband, know that you come from the same Father in heaven. Treat him as your brother on this land. Because in heaven you are going to live together, not as wives, but as brothers. It will be a shame. It will be fine when you mistreated your sister or your brother, when you are going to live together forever. The good chance in heaven, there is no confusion. All these good things, the comforters are there waiting for you. They teach you how to forgive, and you forgive unknowingly. You find when a person will welcome you on the gates of heaven is your brother whom you even cut the head. Well, he has nothing to do but take you and give you good food. But in your heart, if you carry this heart of compassion, like of Judah, you can live 100 years without knowing that somebody forgave you. When he problem, my daughter, my sister. Have your peace. Some people on this land are already forgiven by God. But whenever they go to pray, Father, forgive me. When the first word God told them was that I have forgiven you. And they render the forgiveness of God to be partial. God forgives forever. What you only need is to hear him say, I forgive you. Once you hear that word, don't ask anything about forgive you. Know that the past is already gone. Look forward to ask him good things in that forgiveness. He will answer you with joy. He will answer you with glory. He will answer you with his love. He will answer you with the protection you desire in this season. Father, we thank you for this good forgiveness you have already given us. When even we have not asked of it, God knows what we desire in advance. So fear not. I'm talking to you as children whom God forgave in advance. What does it mean? When Moses is talking to people whom God knows that they were once forgiven, or they were permanently forgiven, I don't follow fighting those you hate. I guide you on how to love them. Because I know you cannot hate them. I just guide you how to love them better. Knowing that in heaven, you'll find when you are in the same group. Even in the same village. But when here, you are not dating. And when in heaven, you are to have each other. This is danger. This is danger. The top says, the answer says, this centurion, this soldier man, told Jesus, only send the word to my people, they will be free. Meaning, you have freedom to pray for those who are sick. In the villages, in towns, in far distances. So that we know if he did it to a soldier who never asked even for forgiveness, how about us who have already received the forgiveness of God? It shall reach. Shall reach. Shall reach. Father, I set your hand again in the power of your might to declare freedom to our brother. We have left at home. They don't know that we are even praying. That is our desire. It is in our mandate to pray for them so that they may also partake on this freedom we have received today. The forgiveness of God is a permanent freedom man desires on this land. Without forgiveness, man calls mercy, expect no grace of God. Whenever you hear a person saying receive grace, I'm teaching. Know that they have known that you have been forgiven. But once you see mercy, seek for mercy of God. Seek for more mercies of God. Know that the files that are in front of him all are reading evil. Only reading evil. Until you hear him say, may the grace of God take you to the next level. All that now God has allowed that forgiveness. Because I don't have ushers. Those who are to be ushers, we are carried around by the love of God. We are carried around by the love of God to stand for creation. So that humanity may not cease on this land. So that man doesn't expire on this land. If we choose all to remain ushers in the church, people will disappear on this land. Those who are produced, you find them when they are sweepers in the house of God. No. At your time, you allow them to go and multiply. This blessing is permanent for any generation. You allow them to multiply. You allow them to occupy even new land. They are meant for us, not for anything else. I wanted to play for this old man, taller than you. If you are the tallest in the family, meaning he's taller than you. So who is the caretaker of your family? You pray for him. Hey. But where shall we stand to move in the might? Where can we stand? Don't worry, we shall get him. I'm looking where to stand. He said, don't enter this house without permission. Your father said, don't enter this house without permission. This one I'm looking where to stand. And declare good news. I have not carried bad news today.
Amen.
So where is this man who loves God? A preacher. In the same family. Not far. Not far from your family.
The preacher. Why did that policeman? Because for him also is a born again and sometimes he stays where he is. Since I'm living, I don't know who he is. Then there is another anonymous my side.
No, I need the old people. Very old people. Very old people. Look at the big woman.
The big woman. Maybe my dad, then my brother.
I need a
The
big
big
woman.
woman. The big woman. She's my mother.
So, if father says don't enter without permission, and now I'm a friend to your mother, I have reached. I have reached. If a mother says sit, I sit. If he says stand, and first call me all my children to come and greet me, I'll do it. If she says, my son, I loved God, but he disappointed me at last. Those I loved never qualified to give me glory. The one she loved, thinking that they would bring glory to the family, they disappointed her. I hope you are not one of them. I know. I hope you are not one of them who disappointed mom. In marriage. And the other one, the brown one, in education. So did you attend the wedding?